Hey everyone, Caleb with Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys with controversy. So guys, something that I'm going to say that's going to be quite controversial for a lot of you that have been in the reselling business is fast sales don't matter. But I do want to caveat that with a big fat caveat of that's only if you do the business like me. Of course, there are a lot of people out there who are doing like lower margin things where the turnover does really matter, where you can't have something taking up shelf space for 6 years, because that thing, it's costing you more money than it's actually worth once it finally sells, because that one $6 item, let's say, sitting there for 6 years, you paid that much money in your rent, in your mortgage, all that sort of stuff, many times over, just because it took so long to sell and it didn't have the value. However, if you have higher value items or higher value items that are like smaller, potentially it is worth hanging on to them a little bit longer to have it so you get that little bit higher price, or just waiting for your buyer to finally come along, because some things, the rarities out there, those things can take a whole lot longer to sell. Old things and rarities, guys, they can take so much longer to sell. In addition to that, if you have something that is a higher cost item, those can sit around as a little bit longer as well. Of course, you have things like iPhones where they charge you an arm, a leg, and 15 kidneys to buy, and those things can sell right away because for some reason people want to buy an inferior phone to an Android because Androids are the best and are affordable. But there are a lot of people out there who have things that do sit around a whole lot longer before they finally sell. Just for instance, right here, guys, I have some books that I bought back in 2021 and 2022. Let's see, do I have any from 20? Yeah, I bought these in 2023. But a lot of these are ones that I've had for a little bit longer, for a couple of years potentially. The average that I have, guys, I ran the numbers a little bit ago, a few months ago actually now, and I saw that my average for how long it takes books to sell is about a year and a half for things to finally sell. That means that a lot of things sell sooner. In fact, a lot of the times that I list antique books, even if I think they're really rare and don't have a lot of buyers, a lot of these things actually end up selling like within 24 hours, some of them, which I always find shocking, or within 48 hours or even a week. A lot of these things will sell rather quickly. However, there are other things that take a couple of months, a couple of years potentially. For me, I've mentioned in other videos, I actually have, I don't know if I still have all three of them, but I have, or had, 3 books that were from my very first year of doing business. And I started this business about 5 years ago, maybe a little bit longer now, of selling old books, antique books, all that sort of stuff. And I think it's really funny to think that all this time later, I still have potentially those 3. There might just be 2 of them right now. I can't remember for sure if I sold one of them, but a lot of these other things, it's like, oh, I've had that one for 2 years, as I mentioned with the 2021s. I've had that one for 3 years. I've had this one for just a year. Okay, he's young. I just bought these ones right here, that little set right there. It's like, it's interesting going through all that sort of stuff. And it's more interesting because for me, I built my business around the entire model of, listen, folks, I know I'm going to hang on to this for a long time. How many people are out there looking for this specific book by this specific author from this specific year? It's not going to happen very often, but when it happens, these people generally are going to pay a higher premium for these things because they know that these books are going to be more rare. They are harder to find. There are less of them out there. That is the thing with the collectible market, guys. And for me, antique books, obviously that's a collectible. And with the collectible market, guys, yeah, you sit on it a little bit longer, but eventually the right buyer comes around and is willing to pay the right price. Of course, there are times that I take like 20% off the top just so the person buys it, so I get it out of my shop and get some like money moving, just because it's like, I feel a little bit bored today. Let's pack up a shipment. Yeah, I know you offered 20% off. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Let's do it. Of course, there are times like that where I just wanted to take the sale, but by and large, a lot of these things will actually sell for the listed price that I ask for them. Of course, there are times that I want to get a little bit more sales, so I do accept more offers, or I do a different sale going on, that sort of stuff. But a lot of these books, like when I'm running this business as more of a laissez-faire, live and let live, be like, let it happen, let the money come to me. When I do it like that, a lot of these books, almost every single one of them, actually do sell for their full list price. Of course, my sales volume is going to be lower when I do that if I'm not supplementing that with additional listings that I'm doing. For me right now, I'm doing more the laissez-faire model while sort of pursuing whatever sales I can get. That translates to I'm not doing a whole lot of listings. I'm not focusing too much on it, but I am doing a couple sales here and there. I am like sale markdown item things, and I'm also accepting a lot of different offers for things just because I'm like, I'm not too worried about it. I got other things going on right now. But with that said, I do want to highlight, guys, again, If you guys have a lower cost store where your things are, you're only like netting 50 cents on it, first off, I highly recommend that you guys like evaluate your numbers. If you're only getting 50 cents, like please calculate in how much you're spending on storage, how much you're spending on your own time for packaging, for sourcing, for all these sorts of things, for the boxes you're shipping out in. I highly recommend, you guys check that out, because if you're only doing 50 cents, there's a good chance that if you aren't good at running your numbers, or you haven't really run your numbers before, you might actually be losing money. That happens to a whole lot of new people. But if you guys are dealing with more like $5 margins, again, that isn't going to be the business model that makes you want to think, oh yeah, I can hang on to this for 5 years and have it just sitting on my shelf for 5 years. That's going to be something that you need to get a little bit more volume moving. However, if you guys are like me, and I've mentioned in other videos, guys, when I'm doing my business, like I like doing my business with just the antique books, just the certain price points that I like going after. So for me, guys, when I'm doing the business like I like to have a $40 floor. Of course, I can go down to like 25 if I really want to be like getting some more sales, but I like to have a $40 floor for my items. And when I'm doing between 25 and 40 as my floor, my average sales price is about $70, a little bit higher per item sold, per listing sold actually. Sometimes I have sets of books that I just lump into one item. But with that said though, guys, that works for me with my business model, because let's face it, if I'm paying $1 a book, which is quite often what I'm spending for my books, if I'm paying $1 a book, I'm selling it for $70. Well, I can definitely hang on to that for a little bit longer, So that is something to keep in mind with you guys, with your businesses, all that sort of stuff. So with that said and done though, guys, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it got you guys thinking about not just your business, but also got you thinking about how long you sit on the stuff that you have. Potentially it works really good for your business. Potentially it could actually be a hindrance and actually be harming your business. So with that said and done though, guys, I hope this was helpful. If so, be sure to drop a like. If you guys would like to learn more about antique book selling or anything else antique book related, that's what my entire channel is about. So be sure to subscribe up there, check out one of my other videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.